Welcome back to Comic Quarantine. I know it's been a while since I uploaded videos because I was recently just shifted into a new house. On the bright side, this will be the first video shot in my new house or part of my new house. Let's get to the good stuff. The global virtual 24 hours event DC FanDome had recently taken place. I hope you saw it, which was an ultimate DC fan experience featuring news and information about all things DC. Content like film, television, games, and comics at the heart of it all. The fandom has treated us with trailers and a sneak peek into movies like The Batman, Black Adam, Wonder Woman 1984, which is my personal favorite. But we are not here to talk about those movies. We are here to talk about one of the most interesting panel in the DC fandom, the Suicide Squad 2. Why I'm excited about it and why you should be too. The Suicide Squad panel was fascinatingly introducing us to the characters and all the amazing cast playing them. Also, not to mention the rest of the team behind the movie, especially the director at its helm, none other than James Gunn himself, who has directed Guardians of the Galaxy earlier.
But who are the Suicide Squad? Assembled by the director Amanda "The Wall" Waller, the team consists of supervillains who reluctantly undertake high-risk covert operations in exchange for receiving commuted prison sentences. And I do mean high risk. Regardless of abilities and talent, every member of the squad is expendable. It's expected that some or many might not even return.
So that's it? What, we some kind of suicide squad?
As expendable assets, all members are fitted with an explosive device in their neck to assure obedience, giving Amanda Waller complete control over the team. Any signs of disobedience or disagreement from any one of the members could potentially provoke Waller to pull the trigger. And the same goes for the members if they try to escape. Try to run away and it's boom. Waller's scheme is definitely a mind-blowing one.
Now let's delve into the characters and new members of the Task Force X, which would constitute the movie version of the team.
Amanda Waller. If there's one government bureaucrat who shouldn't be messed with, it's Amanda Waller, founder of the infamous Task Force X, better known as the Suicide Squad. After losing her two eldest children and a husband to street criminals, Amanda Waller decided that conventional crime-fighting methods didn't work, and that someone had to do whatever was necessary to keep the world safe from evil. A tireless tactician and expert political operator, she quickly moved up the highest level of the government and put together a new version of an old Black Ops team called Task Force X. Recruiting incarcerated supervillains, her Suicide Squad does the dirty work that heroes like the Justice League can't or won't. Regardless of what others think of her methods or morals, Amanda Waller gets the job done. In the DCEU, Amanda Waller is responsible for the creation of Suicide Squad under the codename of Task Force X. Waller thought she could manipulate some bad guys into doing some good. The team's first foray didn't exactly go very well, and in an act of desperation, she sought the protection of Bruce Wayne, seemingly knowing that he was Batman. Her protection came at a price of information on a couple of certain super-powered individuals, Barry Allen and Arthur Curry, aka The Flash and Aquaman. But this didn't make Waller a buddy of Batman's, and after the agreement, Wayne told Waller,
"You should shut it down. My friends and I will do it for you."
Rick Flag. Skilled in combat and attributed by his bravery, instincts, and resourcefulness, his exemplary military record put him on Amanda Waller's radar, and she drafted him to lead the Suicide Squad much like his father, Rick Flag Sr. did before him. The younger Rick accepted the new role, but he wasn't exactly thrilled about the gig. Leading the infamous Suicide Squad comes with a lot of baggage. Comprised entirely of criminals and supervillains, the group draws the most challenging missions where survival is almost always secondary. As a military hero, Rick doesn't share the erratic past of many of his teammates, but is nevertheless fiercely loyal to the squad. He's now backed down from a conflict and he's applied his talent as a leader, a pilot, and a fighter on every mission. A soldier through and through, Rick respects the chain of command and never fails to follow Waller's orders. Whether he's battling the supernatural, leading a clandestine mission, or just sacrificing personal relationships in favor of the job, Rick has risen to the occasion again and again. Considering the squad's survival rate, that's really saying something. In the DCEU, he's a colonel who was hired to keep an eye on June Moon, the woman who becomes possessed by the ancient goddess Enchantress. Flag fell in love with June, which Waller used to her advantage in the first movie, giving him no choice but to go with Suicide Squad into Midway City and keep them on mission. Though Enchantress used June's body to carry out a plan, which is a horrible plan, she ended up surviving their final confrontation and Flag and unpossessed June were reunited. However, June, played by Cara Petruncci, seems to be missing from the cast of Suicide Squad 2 panel. Captain Boomerang. An Aussie marksman with an unmatched talent for his namesake weapon, Captain Boomerang has enjoyed two careers, as a Flash enemy and a member of the Suicide Squad. Having a quite self-explanatory name, Captain Boomerang is a master of boomerangs and boomerang-based fighting. He began his career promoting toy boomerangs. After he immigrated from Australia to the United States, his life took a sharp left turn into villainy when he decided to use his skills to steal jewels. He developed a line of weaponized boomerangs, terrorizing Central City until he ran afoul of the Flash. But in lieu of serving out his entire sentence, he was offered a position on the Suicide Squad. With the squad, Digger now works alongside some of the most dangerous criminals in the world. But if he sometimes finds his teammates' metahuman abilities intimidating, he never lets them get better of him. In the DCEU, Captain Boomerang is a notorious criminal with multiple counts of burglary and aggravated assault, which leads to him being ended up with Suicide Squad. He is tough, sarcastic, humorous, and somewhat crude individual, labeled a deranged lunatic on his psychological profile. He also has a penchant for drinking beer, even taking a sip in the heat of battle with Enchantress monster Eye of the Adversary, and a fetish for pink unicorns, carrying around a stuffed one nicknamed Pinky on himself most of the time. Bloodsport. During the DC FanDome panel for the Suicide Squad, it was revealed that Bloodsport had been imprisoned for trying to shoot Superman with a kryptonite bullet. That rings true with the character's DC Comics history. Since his inception in 1987, Bloodsport, aka Robert Dubois, has famously used kryptonite bullets in an effort to take down Superman. In his first appearance, he was recruited by one of Lex Luthor's agents and was convinced that Superman was an enemy to be dealt with. Much of the Bloodsport's driving force of violence in the comic comes from his anger over the Vietnam War. That's because he was too scared to be a soldier, and his brother Michael stepped up to go in his place, which resulted in him becoming an amputee. But I'm interested to see this rendition of the character and how his origin story plays out in the next movie. Polka Dot Man. Abner Krill, also known as Mr. Polka Dot in the comics, is responsible for creating a polka dot covered suit where the dots can be removed from the costume and turned into a variety of useful weapons and items, not to mention a getaway vehicle that looks a lot like a flying saucer. In the comics, Polka Dot Man once captured Robin, though was inevitably defeated by Batman. Wearing a suit covered in colorful dots in a city like Gotham, it's amazing he could leave the house without ever getting beaten up. Mongul. Mongul is the daughter of the alien warlord Mongul, and like a father, she has an appetite for tyranny and violence. Alongside her twin brother Mongul the Younger, they attempt to kill Superman for dishonoring their father, a confrontation which turned into a bloody battle and ended only when Krypto, the superdog, almost killed Mongul. As an alien, Mongul possesses superhuman strength, agility, speed, and stamina, which allowed her to engage Superman in combat. The Singaporean martial artist Mei Ling will portray her in the next movie and previously played the Amazon warrior Orana in Wonder Woman. TDK. Floyd Belkin was a 30th century man who was rejected by the Legion of Superheroes. Using his self-dismemberment powers, he struck back using the name Arm Fall Off Boy. Yeah, it's kinda weird. He can detach his own arm and use it as a weapon, though it's unclear how he originally acquired this strange power. The problem also is that, they tend to fall off at inopportune times. Thinker. Clifford DeVoe is a master tactician who uses his keen mind to commit crimes. Although he possesses no super strength, he wears a helmet to increase his intelligence, and his enhanced brain has proven to be more than a match for the Justice League and the Justice Society. One of DC Comics' oldest villain, his abilities include technologically derived powers of telekinesis and mind control. The Thinker is meant to be quite a young man, but his brain drains all the energy from the rest of his body and causes him to age prematurely. The character recently appeared as the main antagonist of The Flash by CW, whom I really hope the Butcher from The Boys, just kills them all.
Hey! Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
Blackguard. Richard Hertz is a thug who was given powerful upgrades by the Thousand Criminal Organization. Hertz can manipulate the energy around him to create a mace and shield. He's not particularly very smart, gets his ass beaten by Booster Gold on a regular basis. In the trailer, it looks like he's in also possession of guns, and the character might have a few changes made to him in the movie. Savant. Savant was a rich man who wanted to use his resources as a vigilante. After Batman discouraged his efforts, Savant decided to become a computer blackmailer instead. They had a huge fortune, a genius vigilante, and a head of profitable blackmailing business. Savant appears to experience memory lapses because of his non-linear memory. which is due to a chemical imbalance. Someone was also associated with the birds of prey during the Gail Simon era. In combat, he often wields a pair of patterns. Ratcatcher 2. While Ratcatcher's cinematic name is unknown, her comic counterpart was named Otis Flagman. Otis was an exterminator who learned how to command rodents. Using an army of rats, he embarked on a crime spree as the villainous Ratcatcher. Ratcatcher can summon rats which will bring down the value of any building. If Ratcatcher 2 has the same powers, this means she can control the global economy, making her the most powerful villain of all. King Shark. Nanunu is the son of Camo, the shark god. Part human but with the ferocious nature of a shark, King Shark has made a name for himself with his brutal strength and sharp jaws. Due to his physiology, he is able to live indefinitely underwater and has superhuman strength and durability as well as phenomenal appetite for humans. If you still haven't seen the Harley Quinn animated series, in which King Shark is a regular, watch it right now.
A lot of people ask me who will win between a wolf and a shark. It's a shark.
Weasel. John Monroe was a student who took his nickname Weasel to heart. He became a costume killer and fought Firestorm several times. Eventually, he mutated into a weasel-like creature. Along with sharp claws, Weasel also appears to possess superhuman strength and speed. Even in the DC movies, James Gunn is still casting his brother Sean Gunn as an anthropomorphic furry creature. Earlier, he played the on-set version of Rocket in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Javelin. Javelin was an Olympic athlete who one day said, "Throwing things is fun, but you know what else is fun? Crime. Maybe I can combine these two hobbies." And behold, the world's first javelin-themed supervillain was created. He created an arsenal of weapons based on javelins and went up against Green Lantern when he stole a prototype jet-powered Solar Ferris aircraft, even defeating him. Javelin was later captured, however, and recruited to the Suicide Squad. He can throw things which would come in handy on a mission, but then again it means he's just as talented as any Indian mom when they throw stuff at us. Peacemaker. Christopher Smith is a pacifist, although you never know it by looking at his body count. He believes in peace at all costs and will kill anybody to make that happen.
Be like a douchey Captain America.
In the comics, he finds out that his efforts are the result of a mental illness, caused by the shame and guilt of knowing his father was a Nazi death camp commandant. I hope we get to see a lot of him in the movie. Sol Soria. A character named Uwan Soria first appeared in the 2018 Suicide Squad issue number 33 in the comics. It's possible that Sol is either a relative or a gender-swapped version of Uwan, though it's probably more likely that she's a new character created just for the film. If she is a take on Uwan Soria, he was a superhero fanboy who had dreams of joining the Justice League. A nanite infection gave Uwan the power to manipulate locks, but that wasn't good enough for the Justice League audition. Dejected, Uwan turned into a life of crime. Due to his ability to unlock any lock, he was placed in a hole in Bel Rev before being recruited into Suicide Squad.
Did I miss anyone? Yes, Puddin.
Harley Quinn. The multiverse would be a much less lively place without the shenanigans of the former Dr. Harleen Quinzel, the one and only clown princess of crime. Sometimes love can make people do crazy things, other times it just drives them completely insane. Such is the case with Harley Quinn. A promising psychologist and an intern in Arkham Asylum in Gotham City, Harleen was given the chance to get up close and personal with the Joker, an experience that wound up ending badly. Harleen became obsessed with the subject, and after falling madly in love with the clown prince of crime, she helped him escape the asylum. Her love for the Joker inspired Harleen to adopt a new identity, that of Harleen Quinn, and Joker's sidekick / love interest, whether he wanted her or not. After all, as Harley would say, if you're going a little crazy, you might well sit back and enjoy the ride. If you want to see more of Harley Quinn, I suggest you watch Birds of Prey and the first Suicide Squad movie.
The Suicide Squad 2 has a very bizarre roster that not even the casual comic fan would probably not recognize, hell even me. So putting out these lesser known characters apart from the usual, it just shows how much effort James Gunn has put on to this project. Even with a wonderful cast, I hope sure he makes use of them and not just kill them off. James Gunn has openly cited that John Ostrander and Kim Yale's run on Suicide Squad as an inspiration for his approach in this movie, which is considerably one of the best runs on Suicide Squad by critics and fans alike. Other recommendations include Suicide Squad Kill Anything. This underrated short run is the highlight of modern Suicide Squad. with Tim Seeley providing action comedy tone and Ferreira providing a unique art style. You have to read this. I also recommend Secret Six by the very famous Gail Simone. What are your thoughts on the new Suicide Squad team? And which pop culture character, not just from DC, would you think make a relevant addition to the team? Let know in the comments below, and thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.